Doc here, and a few days back we spoke about MacGyver and his team at MacG Podcast and Chill, talking about or having this lady do a blowjob at this guy and whatnot and stuff like that. And we spoke about the correction that was given by Pastor Kabelo when he was over there at Podcast and Chill interview. Now, there was a response that was done by DJ Spoo. Now, DJ Spoo made this comment, and I thought it was very weird. If you haven't seen it, you can go search it. I'm not even going to include it in this video. DJ Spoo is just one of those people that he has put it to himself that is going to be weird. It's like weird is the new lane for DJ Spoo. First, he was hugging trees, and the doc wishes he was there by that period to throw in a diagnosis or whatnot. But that's DJ Spoo. On this particular episode, I want us to talk about the thoughts and comments that were made by DJ Spoo concerning the subject matter about MacG allowing the whole shandies of the blow what on the thing. Now, I did see a lot of comments on Facebook. Sometimes Facebook people, they have too much time. They just comment whatever comes to their mind. So we give room so that people can also come to a point where they are parents and can make the distinction of what should be public or what should be, you understand? But it's okay. Now, on this video, I wanted to comment about two particular things that DJ Spoo said. Only two. First point that DJ Spoo mentioned here was, he said, people are blowing this entire thing out of thingy. And as a matter of fact, if you go back, these are the very same people that watch movies from America where people are doing these things and whatnot. He even said, you know what, as a matter of fact, they go and watch shows like this which are rated R and stuff like that. And so what's the big deal? That was his thing. Now, I don't know if MacG knows if DJ Spoo knows the difference between a movie and a podcast. Yeah, it's a movie. They are not doing it. These ones were doing. DJ Spoo, there's a difference between doing, not doing. Doing, not doing. So even those ones, when they are acting the scenes that look like it, they are still not. Right? But these ones were doing. There was a literal action of it. So it's a different thing. And also, there's a difference between a podcast and a movie. So apart from the act itself, doing the act, there is also the reality aspect. Podcast, real. Movie, fictional. Right now, when we are speaking about thingy, that lady was, later on I did see a video which highlighted another part, and somebody posted it on thingy and said people should be very careful what they are out there doing. All kinds of doobity-doos and all that kind of stuff. If you don't know, we call it doobity-doos when people are busy bedrooming each other. We call it doobity-doos. Now, when you are busy doing other people and all those kind of things, you must be careful, because people are telling me more about the carry spirits and all kinds of things. That lady, when she was on the show, she mentioned that at one point some guy did a ritual and he put it over her. So now she has these dreams about being what and what. I dare not repeat those things. But that lady mentioned that thing on there. And guess how that entire thing was translated to her? Through the sexual act. And then she went there. MacG pays for her to do the very same thing that carried spirits into her life, that caused her to start thinking funny things, dreaming funny things. And she still did that with another person. After you heard a person saying that, would you then say, you know what, this one is my friend. Why don't you do the same thing so that, I don't know, if it translates whatever. They are not thinking about the act and the effects that the act brings. And so, for those that might have heard that part, also including Spoo himself, hello, say, how are you doing? Yeah, you are fine. Okay, no, it's fine. It's good to hear that you are fine. Yeah, there's a difference now. I think you can see the difference is that the movie wouldn't be having that carrying over to each thing, but here, reality, you see what it does? That was the first part, first thing. His version of reality and misconception, but hey, this is DJ Spoo who was hugging trees. So what to expect. If people are now hugging trees, he said black people's hair faces up because they come from the sun. Hey, be careful of DJ's movement, ideologies and philosophies and what. Anyways, now he said that. So that point, that was the first thing that I saw that was very troubling. That an adult is thinking that can't spot the difference between. He was talking about movies. They watch all these movies which are rated what. Yeah, they are movies for a reason. But now you can see where the issues come up when you talk about the reality aspect. But it's fine. The second point that DJ Sbu said that I thought was a very interesting point. DJ Sbu says, you know what? McG is pushing the boundary. He's pushing boundaries. Now, this idea of him pushing boundaries, what boundaries are we pushing by him pushing immorality? Now, if you are pushing the conversation about sexuality and all these things and dealing with sexual education for adults and whatnot and all that kind of stuff, and if you're talking about that, it's a different subject. But what does immorality? What boundaries are you pushing when that's the agenda? So I would just pull. It's like, do you have a moral up ground? Like, do you have a ground like where you say, yeah, this is my stance morally? Because that was very shocking for a person to say, oh yeah, he's pushing the boundaries. What boundaries? It's a podcast. You can have the conversation. Now, he was even putting other people. He said, yeah, there were people there that used to have, there are people that did it before. They would have women, not what. Yeah, they did. Women would come, probably not dressed to those streams. But did they do what McG's podcast did? They didn't. Why? Reality, non-reality. Do you understand the difference? Now, if he did something that's wrong, correct. Now, then you have to go and take pictures of himself buying tickets for McG's 1 million. You supporting the right. And then when a person is wrong, know to correct them in the wrong. Because if you just support everything, at the end of the day, that person skews up reality. And at the end of the day, they end up doing the worst kind of things. Because you don't realize that you never corrected them when they were in need, in desperate. McG is in desperate need of correction. What happens in a person's mind when they go that far? Think about it. What is happening? What's going on in McG's mind when he goes that far that he himself would pay? Another thing, I heard DJ Sbu saying that you can pay for. Yeah, he said it's legal. Where? In what country? Last I checked, according to the law, according to 2017, and I don't think that has changed. In South Africa, it's not legal. That's why when there was that guy who was killing women who were in that particular business, they were even scared of talking. Why? Because it's not legal. Or are we living in different America? In America, one state in America can have its own laws which are different from another state. Maybe we are in that type of South Africa. Maybe Gauteng has its own laws. Joburg has its own laws. Is that the case? McG's act of paying for. Go read the law, what it says there. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. For those that are lawyers, they can comment and tell us down below. Last I checked, it's not legal. For him to have paid, even she was clear that the act that she does is prostitution. You understand? So for McG to have paid for, okay, no, it's fine. Let's keep that. So what do you see? Why I say if you don't know the right points to correct someone, when they go too far that way, when do you think they will get it back? Because if you don't correct them when they go too far left, that is too far left. What McG did was too far left. Or too far right, whichever one you want to put it as. He was too far, but you still want to justify it. First, the reality aspect and and movies, comparison between movies. I thought that was just a weird one. Now, when he says, McG is breaking boundaries, that's the point that I was tackling now. The last point The last point. He says, yeah, it's breaking boundaries. It's just not for me. Pastor, have you ever lost hope? Yeah, that was me for a second. He said, no, it's just not for me. Who is immorality for? Hey, my daughter. Teachers boo. Where is your right? Where is your wrong? I do not want a friend who doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. Yeah, I don't agree with everyone. Yeah, even in my family. Yeah, my mom's this. I say, no, this is wrong. It stands there. I'm not justifying it. I'm not even going to correct it. I'm not going to... No, I have a direct no, yes, no, yes. He says, no, it's just not for me. This is not a subject matter about for me, not for me. This is a subject matter about moral background. When you are saying, no, if this one is just what, it's just not for you. This is not a subject about that. The subject matter is moral ground. Right, wrong. Based on what you saw, is it right or is it wrong? No, by the way, there was actually even a comment he made where he says, he's not judging whether it's right or wrong. What are you talking about? There's no such. That's delusion. You are talking delusion. There's no such a thing. When an act gets done, in your mind whether it's right or wrong. You might choose to say different because it's growing South African YouTube. Yes, we are growing South African YouTube, but we must have right wrong. And you're not doing wrong by telling him he's wrong. Yeah, people like DJ's Boo, they are the ones that, as they keep going in their superstardom and what. You really wonder, do you not have a position where you say, this is wrong? Pelalapo. Simple as clear. It's not hating him. It's correcting him. He says, no, it's just not for me. So who is immorality for? If immorality has a person that it's for, under what ground do you correct anyone? No, this one is a killer. This one is a killer. It's me. I'm just not a killer. It's not my thing. There is grounds for wrong. So, but people like DJs, you wonder, like, what's going on in your mind? How far are you compromised that even wrong can't be said to be wrong? These are the leaders of tomorrow. You are joking. You are joking. You are joking. Right is right, wrong is wrong. It's simple as clear. You don't foul up wrong. You don't foul it in, you package it nicely. No, it's not for me. What does that mean? Now, it sounds cute, doesn't it? Yeah, it sounds very politically correct. My friend, backbone. This one is backbone. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Yeah, I don't want a friend like that. Even my wife, she must be able to tell me, this is wrong, this is right. Otherwise, the day she forgets to tell me this is wrong, this is right, that's where you hear that the husband is doing something and the wife is there as well. Oh, Bushiri and his wife. These are the ones who just got arrested now. Him and the wife are there, both of them. No one is correcting anyone, even with the child. All of them, the three, all arrested. Why? Because they come to a position where right cannot be right. The conscience of the other person is dying on the basis of, hela, you need a ground. Backbone, Baba. Something is wrong, it's wrong. It cut us like that. It cut us like that. Yeah, there's no cutting corners. Don't cut corners. Keep straight. He said, when he said that, I was like, hey, what's going on with Rotman? Rotman says, yeah, no, it's just not for me, Yeah, it's not. So who is immorality for? If immorality has its people, then which means there are people that are meant just to be immoral. There are people that are just killers. This one's a killer. Why do we have jails if there are people, you can justify this one. You see this one. I want to be flu now. I want to be flu now. You see these ones? Oh yeah, these ones are just meant to go. How do you correct someone? Because if someone is like that, immorality is for you. When you say it's not for me, you are saying that there are people that's made for. Hi, make it make sense. It's a reality show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Some people, when they comment, you sit back and you're like, hey, this is where we are. Hi, Bazalwani. No. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Yeah, I'll have a good one. It's Ricky. Salute.